Okay, so I guess I'm live. Let's see. I'm gonna try and pull this up to make sure. So I've never done a live stream before, so sorry if I'm awkward. So,
page 1 of 13. Job hunting Wiley. Test. Date edit.
Let's see.
About. Tab 6 of 6. Button. Selected. Videos. Tab 2 of 6. Select. Test. Kayla with a C. Date edit. Newest. Button.
It's not coming up, so I'm trying to pull it up on my iPad so I can read the chat because I'm filming on my phone and
Test. Kayla with a C. Unlisted.
It's not
about. Gen. Commute. Playlist. Selected. Home. Tab. Home. Tab 1 of 6.
cooperating.
App switcher. YouTube. Act. YouTube.
Let me close out of the app. So,
Books.
Sorry guys, bear with me. Hi, if you're here.
YouTube.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
Button. 37% battery. Your account. Button. Your account. Your channel. Button. Back. Kayla with a C. 2. Quarantine lives. Uploads. Quarantine live stream. Kayla with a C.
Here I am.
Video player. Live chat. 10. Video player.
Okay.
Previous video.
I got it.
Button. Video player. Collapse video. Button. Pause. Button. Play.
Okay. I've got it. So,
Actions
let's see
304. Next video.
who is here.
Carol Holmes. Hi.
Carol. Hi.
3:04 p.m. Rachel Actor. Love the shirt, smiling face with squinting eyes emoji.
Hey Rachel, thanks. Always good to have a fellow Swiftie on my channel. Rachel says she loves my shirt, so for those of you who can't see, it says, I believe it says I'm the only one of me and has like watercolor from Taylor Swift song.
3:04 p.m. Rebecca Gottwald. Hello, I am from Austria.
Hi Rebecca, all the way from Austria.
3:04 p.m. Cassie Carpenter. BII.
Hi, Cassie.
3:05 p.m. Conan Clark. Hi Kayla.
And Conan. So, my whole family, my family is here. Hello, family.
3:05 p.m. Anna Neshtas. Hello. 3:05 p.m.
Hi.
Music Tech Studios. Hey what? 3:05 p.m.
Gosh.
Rainbow Road. BII. 3:05 p.m. Dana
I'm
Belden.
going back up.
Learn more. Button. 3:05 p.m. Cassie Carpenter. 3:05 p.m. 3:05 p.m. Dana Belden. Hey.
Hi, Dana. And let's see.
3:05 p.m. Rainbow Road.
Rainbow Road. So, sometimes I may mispronounce you guys' names because VoiceOver pronounces it weird, and sometimes I'm like, what did that say? So sorry if I mispronounce your names. It's VoiceOver's fault.
3:05 p.m. VIP Music Tech Studios. Hey, what's up? 3:05 p.m.
Hello, hello. All right, a lot of people here. Hi, Jordan.
3:05 p.m. Conan Clark, Dad and Sharon. 3:05 p.m. Last call. Hey, happy to see you okay and doing well. Stay safe. 3:06 p.m. Blaine. Hello. 3:06 p.m. Kellen Lucas. Hello. 3:06 p.m. Jordan Matheny, The Blind World. Hello, everybody. Previous video.
Okay, so quite a few people here. So, like I said, I haven't done a live stream before, although, well, I guess I did do a live stream. It's probably about a year ago with Derek Daniel from the channel Life After Sight Loss. We played a blind edition of Would You Rather, which was a lot of fun, but we did it on his channel, so he did all the technical stuff and kept up with the chat and everything. So this is the first time I've ever done a live stream on my channel, so I'm going to be trying to find a balance between talking and reading the chat. We'll see how that goes. So, I just wanted to do a live stream to connect with you guys, chat with you guys. It's been a little while since I have posted a video. I have been very busy with graduate school and my internship and pandemic. So I thought I would do a live stream because I can just like pop on, do the live stream and pop off. Whereas when I film a video, I have to like think of a topic and plan what to say and practice and film it and edit it and upload it, and it's a very long process. So here I am, live stream. You get to see me and all of my unedited glory, because when I film videos, I do a lot of retakes because I'm a perfectionist, and I'll say something and then I'll be like, that's not how I want to say it, and then I'll say it again and I'm like, no, I want to say it this way, and then I'll say it again, and they're very long. Like my last video that I posted, my part 2 of job hunting, it was like the edited video was 30 minutes, which is really long, and my raw footage was an hour and 48 minutes. Don't even ask me how it was that long, how in the world I sat in front of this camera for that long and made a 30-minute video in the end. So you'll get to see how rambly I can be without edits. So let me peek back at the chat, see what you guys
3:06 p.m.
are
Jordan Matheny,
saying.
The Blind World. 3:07 p.m. Jordan Matheny, The Blind World. Yes, you said my name. Yes, it was my goal to get you to do that. 3:07 p.m. Rebecca Gottwald. I really like your videos. It's very helpful for me because I have RP2. 3:07 p.m.
Thank you. I love when people say my videos are helpful.
3:08 p.m. Seeing Blind. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Cindy from Seeing Blind. Good to see you here. I'm going to give Cindy a shout out. I have been enjoying her channel. She makes videos about blind parenting, which I always find interesting and helpful as someone who plans on having children in the future. I think those are really good resources, and I think the only channel that I found that's really specifically about blind parenting. So if that's something that interests y'all, you can check out her channel. She has some really good content on there.
3:08 p.m. VIP Music Tech Studios. It's great to be live with the blind tribe. 3:09 p.m. Carol Holmes. Hi. 3:09 p.m. Seeing Blind. Girl, I am the same way. 3:10 p.m. Melanie S. Hi, Kayla. 3:10 p.m. JC5 Productions. Hey, Kayla. How are you?
Hey, Juan. I'm doing good. Good to see you here. You know what? This is a random thought, but I've been meaning to tell you, Juan, from JC5 Productions. He made a video a little bit ago about retinitis pigmentosa, and we had talked on Twitter a while ago about how we get these kind of white, light, circly lights in our eyes. I don't even know how to explain that. And he talked about them in his video, and I haven't had those happen in like a really long time. And it happened right after I watched his video, and then it's been happening every day since. So I don't know what kind of hocus pocus you put in your video to make that happen to me, but it's very strange because it had been a long time and now it's happening more often. So I don't know. Thought it was weird and I wanted to tell you. So
3:10 p.m. Heather Valet. Awesome shirt.
thanks. Someone else likes
3:10
my
p.m.
shirt.
Seeing Blind. Oh, thanks. 3:10 p.m. Cassie Carpenter. You froze.
Oh no, Cassie says I
3:11
froze.
p.m. Dana Belden. I get them spots too. 3:11 p.m. JC5 Productions. I didn't do it LOL.
Am I still, can y'all see me? I'm gonna turn up my speaking rate so I can read these
Characters.
comments faster.
Lines. Containers. Speaking rate. 70%. 75%. 80%.
I'm gonna put it on 80.
3:10 p.m. Seeing Blind. Oh, thanks. 3:11 p.m. Dana Belden. I get them spots too. 3:11 p.m. 3:11 p.m. Dana Belden. LOL. Previous video. Dim.
Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys about how my quarantine has been going. So I have not left the house in, it's been not quite 2 weeks yet. I went to work like 2 Tuesdays ago. So this Tuesday, it will be 2 weeks since I have left the house. My husband's been working from home for the past 2 weeks, so he has been here and hasn't gone anywhere except to go to the grocery store and to pick us up some food. He's been trying to get Uber Eats for every meal of every day, and I've been trying to keep that in check because that price adds up quickly, or a lot. So that's kind of how that's been going. My grad school classes are no longer in session. They have moved to online, which isn't really that different because I was only going one night a week and then had a lot of assignments to do online and outside of class. So that really hasn't changed a ton since, it was just once a week. But I have plenty of work to do. Some assignments have been adjusted because they were presentations, so that's been interesting to navigate. And we also have a big comprehensive exam coming up on April 3rd, which is like the big daddy. It's this really big exam that you have to pass in order to pass the program. So it doesn't matter if you've passed 2 years of classes. If you don't pass this exam, you don't get your master's degree. So it was scheduled for April 3rd on campus, and now we're doing it at home, and it has changed a little bit. So it's been very overwhelming preparing for that. It's just a stressful time in the semester anyways, and then add a pandemic on top of that, and it just makes it a very stressful and busy time with school. And then my internship, so for those of you who don't know, I'm doing an internship at my local domestic violence and sexual assault center doing counseling sessions. So we have moved to doing phone sessions. So I've been doing counseling sessions over the phone at home, and which has been going pretty good. I think a lot of therapists right now are moving to phone sessions and maybe thinking it's weird because it's weird to them to not be able to see their client, but I can't see them anyways, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference to me. So that's kind of been what I've been doing. School is taking up a lot of time, and then my internship, I kind of wish I could enjoy my quarantine with Disney movies and home improvement projects like other people have been doing. Although I say that now, but I'm sure after a week I would probably be bored. So I wish I had a balance, like some schoolwork and then some free time. But right now it's kind of all school, no free time. And then honestly, this pandemic I feel like it's taking up more time where a lot of other people have more free time. I feel like it has taken away time just because I've been so stressed and anxious about it. I've been just like feeling like unmotivated, like I don't want to work because I'm just really stressed out and anxious, and I've been like falling down rabbit holes of looking at the news and on Twitter and just getting lost and having kind of trouble concentrating on my schoolwork just because I've been very anxious. So I feel like it's taken up more of my time, just like the added stress. So I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that, or if maybe I'm the only one who feels like I have less time instead of more time because of this pandemic quarantine thing. So let's look at the chat, see what you guys think. Oh, it closed me out of YouTube.
Apps. Heading. App Store.
Oh,
YouTube.
technical difficulties.
3:15 p.m.
Here we go.
I know a lot of blind / visually impaired parents of students and students. Page 3 of 4.
Let's
3:09
scroll
p.m.
up.
Carol Bones. Hi. 3:10 p.m. Melanie S. Hi Kayla. 3:10 p.m. JC5 Productions. Hey Kayla. How are you? 3:10 p.m. Head of the late. Awesome shirt.
I scrolled up too far.
I get those spots too. 3:11 p.m. 3:12 p.m. Cassie Carpenter. Never mind. 3:13 p.m. Seeing blind. My puppy was tested today. We have been sick. It takes 10 days to get the results.
Oh no. Cindy says that her and her husband have been sick and he got tested. I'm really hoping for negative results. I actually was in contact with someone who was having symptoms, and they got tested, and I was freaking out. And then they got their results and they were negative. So that was a relief for both of us. So I hope you guys are okay.
Good luck with Friday's exam.
Thank you. Said good luck
3:15
for
p.m.
my
I know a lot of blind / visually
good luck
impaired
for my
parents of students and
exam.
students are struggling with the extra screen time of online classes. 3:15 p.m. Raunchy laughter. Karen, I'm currently in college and agree with what Cindy said about online classes. 3:16 p.m. JC5 Productions. I'm too busy with things and I wish I could watch movies, but I'm busy with lessons. Work and video work. 3:16 p.m. Seeing blind. Yes, I think more needs to be done in the education system for our population and dealing with the extra eye strain. 3:16 p.m. Dana Belton. Been cleaning, staying busy.
So some of you guys have been talking about extra eye strain with the moving to online learning. So I totally get that. I used to have that. Now I just use voiceover, so I don't have to worry about the eye strain. But yes, I definitely get that because I have been there in the past.
3:16 p.m. Raunchy laughter. I also feel like I've had less time. Some of my professors are getting more online work than what we would have done for in-person classes. It's hard to find the motivation. 3:17 p.m. Cassie Carpenter. Yes, I have been feeling that way too. It's hard to focus on tasks, so it takes me longer to do things. Previous video. Dead.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels like they have less time because they're stressed and can't focus. So apparently I'm not the only one. So let's see, what else was I gonna talk about? I had things planned that I was gonna say, and now I'm just like blanking. See, this is usually the point in my videos where I sit here and pause and think about what I was gonna say and then cut out that pause. But you can't really do that when you're live. You just have to keep going. So let's see. One thing I wanted to talk about, which I think is interesting, is Matt from the channel Blind to Billionaire made a video a couple days ago about being blind and quarantine, and made some interesting points that I agree with. And I feel like I've kind of been quarantined for a lot of periods of my life being blind and not being able to drive, like when I was out of college for the summer or when I was unemployed and, you know, I had nowhere to go and I couldn't drive, and I would go days or even weeks without leaving the house. And so like I feel like I've lived parts of my life in quarantine already, so this doesn't seem that different to me. But it is kind of a bummer because I feel like I finally escaped that and was, you know, going to class and, you know, going to grad school and being around my classmates, who a lot of them I've made friends with, and I was going to my internship and being around people and being with coworkers and my clients and really enjoying like getting out of the house and having somewhere to go and being around people. And then now I am just back in isolation where it was. So I think for me it's kind of like disappointing timing. I know there's never good timing for a pandemic, but I'm like, why couldn't this have happened when I was unemployed and I wasn't going anywhere anyways? But it's fine. It's just interesting. And I think something that Matt was talking about is that sighted people, able-bodied people, are getting a taste of our medicine, of what it's like to not be able to go places, and they hate it. And so now it's kind of like, this is what it's like to be blind, or to be blind and unemployed. You're kind of stuck in the house. And, you know, when I didn't have a job, I had a lot of people say like, oh, it must be so nice to just sit around in your pajamas all day and not do anything. And I would try and tell them like, no, it's miserable. I want to go places. I want to go places and I want to be productive. And now they're getting to see actually just how miserable that is. So now you know it's not nice just to sit around all day in your pajamas in the house. I think when sighted people think about like not having a job or not have anything to do, they picture like going to Starbucks and going to yoga and going to Target and like running errands and going to the park and go for a walk or whatever. But when you're blind, that doesn't really go that way, because I mean, even if you wanted to Uber to all of those places, that would be really expensive, and no one has the money to go like 5 different places every day. And even if I did or could just like take an Uber to Target, it's not like I can really just walk around and browse, because I don't know like where things are or what they are, especially if like things are in boxes. You can maybe browse in the clothes, or baby clothes, which is my favorite thing to look at Target. But like sometimes me and my husband will browse the book section or the toy section. But when you're blind, it's like you don't know what those books are or those toys and boxes are just by touching them. So it's not really something that we can just go out and do to get out of the house. So yeah, this is kind of what being blind is like, this quarantine of being cooped up in your house, can't really go anywhere. Welcome to our world. So yeah, let's look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. It keeps on taking me out of YouTube. I will get the hang of this eventually.
Yes, I have been feeling that way too. 3:18 p.m. JC5 Productions. I got sick 3 weeks ago with the flu, and my work had to tell me to get checked just to make sure that no one else got sick. So yeah, it was just the flu.
One had the flu. I'm glad it was just the flu.
3:18 p.m. Seeing blind. Thank you. Yes. He did a study abroad class and they returned back to the country right as everything started going down. We have been 3:21 p.m. Seeing blind. I mentioned your live stream on FB today. Hopefully new people will join from our community.
Thanks, Cindy. Mentioned my live stream.
Button. 3:18 p.m. Seeing blind. Thank you. Yes. He did a study
So I guess I'm caught up in the chat. Let's see how many people are here.
Live chat 10. Heading.
10 people.
3:21 p.m.
Where's that?
Save line. I mentioned your
Is that
lifestyle
10
today.
people chatting or 10 people watching? I don't know how this works. So
3:23 p.m. Carol Holmes. When I was a stay-at-home mom, people thought I stayed in my pajamas and watched TV all day. LOL.
So Carol says that's what people think of stay-at-home moms too, that you just stay in your pajamas and do nothing all day. I don't know who thinks that. That seems ridiculous. Obviously, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're chasing around children, you're doing a lot. Sounds exhausting.
3:24 p.m. Wait, since losing my vision, adapting to my new level of independence has been difficult, so I'm late. 3:24 p.m. Raji Latcher. It says for me that 22 people are watching.
Okay, Rachel says 22 people are watching. So I guess the live chat is how many people are chatting. I don't know. I am not an expert on live stream. So we'll see how this goes to see if I ever do another one or not. So let's see. What else was I going to talk about this whole situation? I guess one thing I was going to mention to you guys are kind of what things that I'm bummed about this whole situation. And I know I have it easier than a lot of other people. There are people who have or are obviously sick and dying. There are people who have lost their jobs, people that have had to cancel their weddings. I know there are a lot of stressed out and anxious, expectant moms who are having to go to their appointments or give birth without their support system, which sounds terrifying. So I know people have it worse, but just because there are people who have it worse doesn't mean that you can't be disappointed about, your own frustrations and disappointments in your life. Those can exist at the same time. You can acknowledge that people have it worse, but then also be disappointed for your own stuff too. So one thing that's kind of a bummer about this whole situation is that since we are not doing classes on campus anymore, we had my very last on-campus class without even knowing it. This is my last semester where I have in-person classes. Over the summer, I'll just have one online class and then I'll graduate. It'll be over. So I went to my last class without knowing it, and so I didn't get to say goodbye to all the people in my graduate program that, we've become pretty close over the course of the program. So we didn't get to have our little celebration or say goodbye. So that has kind of been a bummer. And so we were talking about, going out and celebrating after we all finished the comprehensive exam. And now we don't get to do that. So that is kind of sad. On a separate note, my new way of celebrating finishing the comprehensive exam, it's on the same day that Pixar's Onward movie comes to Disney Plus. So when I finish my exam, it's from 8 to 5. So when it's over, I will celebrate by watching that movie. So I am excited to do that. So I think it's good to find, something else to be excited about. I'm also excited when the semester ends to really dig into my watch list on Disney Plus, because I have a lot of stuff on there to watch and haven't had a lot of time to watch it. So I am excited for that, because you all know that I love Disney and Disney movies, and the amount of audio described movies on there is just ridiculous. There are so many. Almost everything on there is audio described. So I'm going back and watching movies that I've seen when I was younger without audio description and watching them with audio description for the first time, and it's a lot of times it makes a lot of difference of things that I didn't realize. Like a while ago I watched The Little Mermaid, and I never realized when when Ursula turns into Vanessa at the end and marries Eric, I never knew that that she had him in a trance. I was always like, why did he just ditch Ariel and then marry this Vanessa chick just because he thinks that she has, like, she's the one with the voice. And now with audio description, he was in a trance. I never knew that. So I also, kind of similar situation, I watched Frozen with audio description, and I didn't realize, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Frozen, which I don't know why in the world anyone hasn't seen Frozen or seen it by now because it's been out for a while. But at the end, I guess Hans tries to stab Elsa and Anna, like, intercepts it. And that was the act of true love that that broke the curse. I never realized that. I didn't realize he was trying to stab her. I thought the act of true love was that Elsa came back for Anna. I didn't know that she jumped in front of a knife for her. So it's just interesting because, like, you think that you know the story, and then you watch it with audio description, and then you find out all of these things that you didn't realize. Anyways, that was a long ramble about Disney movies. But anyways, back to, what was I talking about? Things that I'm kind of bummed about with this whole pandemic situation. Another thing is that my husband and I were planning, we were planning on going to Niagara Falls in June. I have never been, and it's somewhere that I always wanted to go, and it's like been on my bucket list forever. So we were finally gonna go, and now I don't know what things will be like in June. Like, I hope things will be kind of back to normal, but I don't know, and I don't want to, like, hold my breath for that. So we may not get to go, and it's like, I would only go in the summer because I'm a wimp when it comes to the cold. I don't want to go in the cold. So if we can't go this summer, then it'll be a whole nother year. So that's kind of a bummer. I was really looking forward to that. And also, it's like a really visual kind of destination. Like, you go there to look at it, and, you know, with losing vision, I want to look at it with as much vision as I have. So if we have to wait another year, you know, I probably won't be able to see as much of it as I can now. So that's disappointing if we can't go, but it's not the end of the world, and there's still a chance that maybe we can go. So we will see. Let's see. What about you guys? Has it kind of disrupted your life in any way? Are there things that you're disappointed about? Let me know. And I'm going to pop into the chat.
3:28 p.m. Melissa's World. I have Disney Plus 2 and I've seen The Mandalorian is on the start. Page
Let's
6 of 7.
see. Let me
3:24
scroll
p.m.
up.
Roger Laughter. It says for me that 22 people are watching. 3:25 p.m. Melissa's World. Hi Kayla, it's Melissa from Melissa's World.
Hi,
3:56 p.m.
Melissa.
I've had a career job. Worked hard for 5 years in oncology. Being a stay-at-home mom definitely is just as exhausting.
Cindy says being a stay-at-home mom is just as exhausting as working in oncology. Those are both very stressful
3:26
things.
p.m. Ashley Morgan. Hi Kayla. Hope you're doing well. What have you been doing to pass the time since we're all quarantined? Thanks and take care.
Hey, Ashley. Ashley asked what I've been doing to pass the time. Schoolwork. Boring schoolwork.
3:26 p.m. Melissa's World. I can't go outside either as they recommend all those immunity companies stay inside and I have asthma. 3:28 p.m. Cassie Carpenter. Are you going to watch Tiger King?
Cassie says, am I going to watch Tiger King? No. I was just talking to Ethan, my husband, about this yesterday. Everyone in the world is watching Tiger King. Everyone's talking about it on Facebook, on Twitter, and I don't know. I have no interest in watching it, and I have no interest on just jumping on the bandwagon and watching it because everyone else is. Right now we're watching, we just started watching The Act, which is about a mom who has Munchausen's by proxy. She's like making her daughter sick on purpose. It's on Hulu. It does have audio description. We're like 3 episodes in, but it's pretty good so far.
3:28 p.m. Melissa's World. I have Disney Plus 2 and I've seen The Mandalorian is on a Star Wars fan. 3:29 p.m. Raggy Laughter. Another movie to add to your list. Quick Cam. It's a Netflix documentary about the disability rights movement. It just came out last week.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Rachel says to watch Crip Cam. It's a documentary about disability on
3:30 p.m.
Netflix.
Season 1. I love The Mandalorian. Highly recommend it. Reminds me of the old Star Wars. The best times. 3:30 p.m. Melissa's World. Thanks, I'm a fan of it now to add spoilers. It's pretty awesome. 3:31 p.m. Melissa's World. Watch it with audio description and all possible. Caleb, The Mandalorian is kind of cool.
People are telling me I should watch The Mandalorian. I'm just not a Star Wars person. Sorry, guys.
3:31 p.m. Melissa's World. I never tried the audio description feature. How do you activate it?
Melissa says, how do you activate audio description? I think there's an option if you go to like languages, where it has the subtitles, it'll say like audio description English. I don't know. I hope that's a good explanation. I don't know exactly where it is, but if you can find like languages or subtitles somewhere in there, it should give you the option.
3:31 p.m. Melissa's World. COVID has disturbed my training with my tutor. 3:32 p.m. Emma Rachel. I always wanted to do shark cage diving, but afraid of my restricted peripheral vision.
Shark
3:31
cage
3:32 p.m.
diving.
I always wanted to do shark cage diving, but
That
afraid of my restricted
sounds
peripheral
scary.
vision. 3:32 p.m. Rainbow Road. Being in quarantine really sucks. I miss my job. We all got laid off positive virus.
I wonder if my husband's watching. He's afraid of sharks. Did you hear that? Someone wants to go shark tank diving.
3:32 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. Stopping by to say hi. 3:32 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. Hope things are well.
Glitch Vision says hi. Hello. I hope things are well with you
3:33 p.m.
too.
Find new folks. 3:33 p.m. Melissa's World. I hate that it got this bad. The virus has disrupted my exercise walks and starting with my tutor. My training with her is disrupted. 3:33 p.m. JC5 Productions. As much of a homebody introvert as I am, who also has social anxiety, I need to stay in to feel the lockdown.
So Juan says even being a homebody and introvert, he's still feeling the effects of the lockdown. And I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to, of people that didn't really like to go out that much anyways. Now that you can't, it's like, you know, you always want what you can't have.
3:33 p.m. Melissa's World. Oh, okay. Ellipsis. Thanks. 3:34 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. To clarify, the audio description option on Netflix is found in the audio and subtitles options menu. Previous video. Dim. Button.
So let's talk about kind of more positive things of what we have been doing in the quarantine other than me doing schoolwork and working from home. So one thing that I have been doing is I have been meditating. So I have pretty bad anxiety, and so this whole situation has made that a lot worse. And like one of my anxiety symptoms is shortness of breath. Like I get anxious and I feel like I can't breathe, which is a corona symptom. So I'll like get anxious and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I can't breathe, I have corona. And then I get more anxious and then it makes it worse. And it's like this never ending cycle. I do not recommend it. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean, because obviously you don't get anxiety. Anyways, so I have been meditating, which is not something that's like new to me. I've been doing it for probably about a year and a half or so. I have the Calm app. There's other apps. I think there's like Headspace and one that's called Insight Timer. I think there's a few different apps. There's also videos on YouTube that are free. So I have been doing that every day to kind of try and keep my anxiety in check. And I would really recommend it for anyone, even if you don't have anxiety. It's good for just like general stress, or to be more present. It can help you sleep better. Really has a lot of benefits. And some people may think that it just sounds like really hippy dippy, or they just don't understand it, and I don't blame you. When it was recommended to me, I was just like, no, that is pointless. I don't understand how that would help me. It's unproductive. Why would I just sit and do nothing for 10 minutes when I could be doing something? And when I finally started to try it, I realized that it really does make a difference, and I would give it a few days to start seeing benefits. You're not going to do it once and it just makes everything better. I'd give it like a week or so. But that's been something that's really helpful to me. I recommend the Calm app anyways. There's other things other than meditation. It has like calming music, and it has sleep stories to help you get to sleep, and just all kinds of stuff. It's kind of pricey. It's like $60 a year, I believe, which is only $5 a month. So when you divide it up, it doesn't really seem that bad, but I would recommend. So I've been doing that, and my husband and I have been going for walks around the neighborhood, just to get out and get some fresh air and some sunshine, but not too much sunshine because it bothers me when it's too bright. And so we've been going for walks. So I think that's something that has really been helping, just to get out of the house, get some exercise. If you don't have someone to walk with, you can, of course, always walk by yourself. If you don't feel comfortable walking by yourself around your neighborhood, you can just walk around your house. I do that all the time when either the weather's not good or if my husband isn't available to walk with me. I just like walk back and forth around the house and up and down the stairs, can put on some music, but just to try and get some exercise is always good. So do that. You can also, I'm sure there's tons of exercise videos online. You can just do some squats. You can do a lot in your home if you just get creative. So that's been something else that I have been doing to try and stay sane during this crazy time. I've also started recently taking kind of a social media hiatus because I was just getting really overwhelmed with just all of the information and looking at it. And so I decided to just like get off Facebook and get off Twitter, and so I don't see that stuff. I'm still like I check my mentions and stuff on Twitter, but I'm not scrolling. And so I think that's really helped, just to not have all the information so in my face, just to kind of step away, take a little break from it. I've also been playing some music, so I've been playing my piano a little bit. I've been playing my ukulele. I dug it out. I haven't played it in probably over 2 years because that's how long we've lived in our house, and I didn't know where the ukulele was in our house. So that's how long it's been since I have taken it out, but I took it out and was playing it a little bit, and just think that music is really therapeutic. So if you have an instrument that you play or an instrument that you don't play and it's buried in the closet somewhere, go take that out, play it. If you don't play an instrument, just listening to some music, singing along, can definitely be very, very therapeutic, and just help kind of with stress relief. And so these are all things that I've done. Also, as a professional, there are things that I recommend in counseling for just relieving stress and anxiety: meditation, exercise, and music. So there you go, professional advice. So what have you guys been doing to stay sane? Let me know, and I'm going to pop into the chat.
3:39 p.m. Melissa's World. I understand the light sensitivity, so I put on sunglasses. 3:38 p.m. See in line. Hey guys, so sorry, have to go. Kids are waking up. 3:37, 3:36 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. Meditation is an awesome thing to do.
Trying to like scroll up to see where I left off.
My phone, the numbers are going up where I am. 3:36 p.m. Melissa's World. I learned that fear can weaken the immune system. It was like, whoa. Ellipsis. And I've been meditating to help soothe the internal stress, if you know what I mean.
Yes, fear can weaken the immune system. So like all of that stress, it just wears down your body. And of course, I'm not a doctor. I feel like that's common knowledge, but I just want to clarify. I'm not a doctor.
3:36 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. Meditation is an awesome thing to do. Once you get comfortable with good techniques, you can do it without the smiley smiling face emoji.
All right, so we've got other people here meditating, and Glitch Vision says once you get comfortable, you can start doing it without the app, and that's a good point. So they call it like meditation practice. So when you do it with the app, you're practicing it, so then when you do feel stressed out or you're in a situation that's like currently causing you anxiety, you can kind of do some of those techniques and the breathing techniques in the moment without having to pull out your app. So it is kind of like you practice, and then you can just apply the techniques just whenever you need them.
3:37 p.m. Melissa's World. True, I meditate with apps, just clearing my mind and thinking of the light side and not the dark side. 3:38 p.m. See in line. Hey guys, so sorry, have to go. Kids are waking up and it's time for me to do my mommy job. 3:39 p.m. Darren Bryan. Hi Caleb. 3:39 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101.
Hi,
I meditate
Darren.
twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. 3:39 p.m. Melissa's World. I understand the light sensitivity, so I put on sunglasses over my functional glasses.
Yes, light sensitivity, definitely a problem in the visually impaired community. I do wear sunglasses, even when it's not very bright outside. I still wear sunglasses because my eyes are just really sensitive.
3:40 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. It helps me keep my thoughts in order and master the signs my body gives me in order to know if I need more rest or not. LOL. 3:40 p.m. Melissa's World. Like I have thick brightness for the low vision right eyes, it has tunnel vision and low vision, and nearsighted whereas my left eye is blind. 3:41 p.m. Melissa's World. Making me legally blind states my eye doctor when I was a kid. 3:41 p.m. Rainbow Road. Painting has helped me stay sane.
Rainbow Road does painting. That sounds nice. It sounds very calming. I wish I could do painting, but you know. Art has never been my strong suit. You know, not being able to see, but I don't know, maybe we could do some like finger painting or something. Might make a mess, but I don't know, that would be fun. My sister does watercolor paintings. She like painted me some stuff for my office, which was nice. And I don't know, I wish I could do that kind of artsy stuff. Her and my mom both are very artsy, but not me. And my husband is artsy too. He's a graphic designer, and so yeah, I'm surrounded by all these artsy people, and then I can't do art or even really see their art, so kind of a bummer. But yeah. Anyways.
3:41 p.m. Melissa's World. I would go on Facebook out. 3:42 p.m. Melissa's World. Three finger slide up slash down. 3:42 p.m. Melissa's World. For my Android talkback, I use two finger slide. 3:44 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. For those with some muscle vision, gaming is another good way to stay sane.
Glitch Vision says gaming is another way to stay sane for people who do have some vision. So that is a good tip. Cassie says, I got the musical talent. They're artistic and I'm musical. I guess that's true. That's kind of a trade-off. And I feel like that is so, I don't know. I feel like it's stereotypical that blind people are musical, but I don't know. I feel like that one kind of exists for a reason. Of course, all blind people are individuals and we're not all good at music, but I do think it's one of those talents that we nurture because we can. Like, that's what we have. We have our ears, and so I think a lot of blind people do kind of lean towards music because that's a hobby that we can fully participate in. So it's a good point.
3:44 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. Especially with the internet bringing us together to enjoy cooperative experiences together. 3:44 p.m. Melissa's World. UUHI can't play games too well. Do you know of any Star Wars games with accessibility? Previous video. Dim. Button.
So that is all. Let's see. How do I see how many people are watching?
5 seconds of less than a second. Adjustable. Quarantine list stream. 10 watching now.
Have 10 watching. It's a big audience. If that's accurate.
Chat. 10. 3:45 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. Might be a bit tough, but I've had some success with Jedi. Fallen Order. Previous video. Dim.
So yeah, I don't know that I have that much else to say. So I don't know if you guys in the chat want to ask me questions or whatever, can do that. So I will keep an eye on it, see what you guys have to say.
3:44 p.m. Melissa's World. UUHI can't play games. 3:45 p.m. Glitch Vision 0101. Might be a bit tough, but 3:45 p.m. Melissa's World. Okay, 4 periods. As I'm a big Star Wars fan. Previous video. Dim.
Got people talking about Star Wars in the chat. So my hubby is a big Star Wars fan. Last time we went to Disney, we had to go to Galaxy's Edge because he was excited about it. I didn't want to waste my Disney time in Galaxy's Edge. Sorry to offend any of you Star Wars people, but it wasn't that bad. It was fine. I dragged him on all of the princess rides. I mean, there's not really that many princess rides, but I bring him on all like the classic Disney rides, so it's fine that he dragged me into Star Wars for a couple hours.
3:46 p.m. Randa Allen. Yeah, I can't miss you so much. What about eating? Free face rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
So Randa Alleman, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's how VoiceOver says it. Asks what about eating. So we have had not great luck at the grocery store, which is interesting because I see people on Facebook using this time to like cook all this fancy stuff, and I'm just like, where you get them ingredients at? Because we can't find any at the store. Like, there's no chicken, there's no beef, there's no crescent rolls, there's no, let's see, what else did we tried to get, like Creole seasoning. They were out of that, which like are people what's the word I'm looking for, panic buying Creole seasoning? I don't know why that was all gone, but so yeah, we were trying to like find food to make, and it's just wiped out. Although we did recently, our last grocery trip, they had stuff to make sandwiches, so we got some lunch meat, cheese, bread, and mayonnaise, which was exciting. And it's just funny that that's exciting at this time, that you're like, yay, they have stuff to make sandwiches, which is like the most basic food, but it was exciting. I have stuff to make sandwiches now. I have a panini press, and so that's kind of what I eat most of the time. I make a panini and just put it on my press, leave it there for like, I don't know, 2 minutes or so, and then it's ready. And I don't know about you, but I think that warm sandwiches taste so much different than cold sandwiches. It's like not even the same food. So that's what we've been doing, and getting Uber Eats sometimes, or going to pick stuff up from our restaurant, just because we don't have a lot here because there's not a lot in the grocery store. So yeah.
3:44 p.m. Melissa's World. UUH, I can't play games too well. 3:45 p.m. 3:45 p.m. Melissa's World. Okay, 4 periods. As I'm 3:46 p.m. Darren Bryan. I am from Virginia and cannot use voiceover very well because I speak slowly and definitely couldn't keep up with yours.
Darren says he can't keep up with my voiceover. It's definitely once you get used to it, it goes like faster and faster. Like I didn't start out having it this fast. It's something that you just have to like warm up to and get used to.
3:46 p.m. Rand Allen. Yeah, I can't use it much. What about eating? 3:46 p.m. Melissa's World. Do you like music, Kayla? My favorite song is Hannah Montana.
Melissa asked if I like music, and her favorite song is Hannah Montana. I do love music. Also a fan of Hannah Montana. That was like my jam when I was a teenager. I think me and Miley Cyrus are about the same age. So like when that show came out and she was 13 or so, I was that same age, and so I watched that through like high school and stuff. Really liked the show. So
3:46 p.m. Neil K. Hi there. 3:48 p.m. Melissa's World. Yeah, everyone has been shopping lately here too, and I'm so annoyed because we have to be careful. Like my family has to be careful when we shop now. 3:49 p.m. JC5 Productions. What's your voiceover percentage speed at?
Juan asked what my voiceover percentage is at. It's at 80% right now. So I think I usually have it on 75. I turned it up faster so I could read these comments faster, but that's kind of around like 75, 80 if I'm reading something important like a textbook or something that has like confusing words, or it's just a lot to digest. I'll turn it down to 70 or maybe even 65 just to make sure I can like really take it in while it's reading.
3:50 p.m. Melissa's World. She's my jam too. I'm 26 going on 27 today on the 13th. 3:50 p.m. Bama Blind. We eat paninis at least 3 times a week. No shortages with food in my central Alabama area.
Hey Beverly, good to see you here. Beverly and her family eat paninis. It's a good choice, and glad to hear that you're not having food shortages. That's good to hear.
3:50 p.m. Neil K. What is your favorite Disney song?
Ooh, my favorite Disney song. I love that question. I think probably Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid would probably be my favorite. I just love that one. And also just have fond memories when I was 20, about to turn 21. My dad and my stepmom took me and my sister to Disney World for the first time since I was 5, and I'd been dying to go back for like 16 years, and he finally took us, and me and my sister were like running around the park, linked arms, singing Part of Your World, just like all day, every day, and I don't know, it was fun. I think that's probably one of my favorite. I also like the song Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I feel like that's a less popular one. It's the one just like in the very beginning of the movie, so I think that's a good one too. But I don't know, hard question because I like so many of them. I also really like all of the Frozen songs. Those are good. So yeah, good question.
51 p.m. Rainbow Road. Do you know the YouTuber Molly Burke?
Rainbow Road asked, do I know Molly Burke? I do. She was one of the very first blind YouTubers that I started watching, and she inspired me a lot to open up about my vision impairment and start my own channel. So I owe a lot of credit to her.
3:51 p.m. Cat Mom. I am sorry if I have missed it when you have said before, but I was wondering what city and state you live in.
So someone asked what city and state I live in. I actually get this question a lot, and I have not disclosed where I live. Just, can never be too careful, just kind of a safety precaution. I don't think my channel will ever blow up to be something huge, but if it ever does, I don't know. I just want to make sure that my privacy is protected. So I haven't told anyone where I live. So
3:51 p.m. Neil K. I agree. 3:52 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm on your 26 and I'll be 27 this May on the 13th. Pretty excited despite this pandemic, but please be careful outdoors.
So
3:52 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm on your 26 and I'll be 27 this May on the 13th. Pretty excited despite.
Melissa turns 27 in May, so happy almost birthday. I know this whole situation is kind of raining out people's birthdays. My husband turns 30 in April, in like less than a month now. So he's getting really old. And so I don't know, it's towards the end of April, so I have no idea what things are going to look like by then, so we will have to see. But yeah, his big 3-0 may be turning out to just be us eating a panini at home. Well, I'll let him get Uber Eats for his birthday. I will at least let him do that. So, but yeah, it may be a bummer. So that does stink for all of the birthdays around this time, especially the big ones like 30 or whatever. So
3:52 p.m. Cassie C. Oh, we had so much fun. 3:52 p.m. Anna Blind. That is my very, very favorite Disney song as well.
Good. Beverly says that's her favorite Disney song. Good
3:52 p.m. The Blind
taste.
Life. Hey, Kayla.
Sam from The Blind Life is here. Hello, Sam. Nice to see you.
3:53 p.m. JC5 Productions. Hey, Sam. 3:53 p.m. Melissa's World. Hi, Sam. 3:53 p.m. JC5 Productions. Catching up on your stream soon, Sam. 3:54 p.m. Rainbow Road. I like the Disney princess artwork in the background.
Rainbow Road says he likes my Disney or I don't know why I said he.
3:54 p.m. Rainbow Road. I like the Disney
I don't
princess
know if you're a he or a she. Sorry. Rainbow Road said they like my Disney princess artwork in the background. So I do have, I don't know how much of them you can see, but I have a Cinderella, Belle, and Snow White like illustrations with glitter on them in the background. I love them a lot. So they're one of my favorite decorations in this princessy room.
3:54 p.m. Melissa's World. Thanks for the early birthday wish, Kayla. 3:55 p.m. Rainbow Road. Yeah, I love LOL.
Okay, Rainbow Road is a he, so I got that right at first. Still awkward. Sorry.
Previous video. Dim. Button.
So
3:54 p.m. Melissa's World. Thanks for the 3:55 previous video. Dim. Button.
that's all of the chat. So I don't know. What do you guys do when you don't have anything else planned to talk about, and then there's not really anything going on in the chat? Do you just keep awkwardly checking it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So y'all can ask some more questions. I don't know. Say some things.
3:54 p.m. Rainbow Road. I like the Disney princess artwork in 3:54 p.m. Melissa's World. Thanks for the early 3:55 p.m. Rainbow Road. Yeah, I love previous video. Dim. Button.
Well,
3:55 p.m. Rainbow Road. Yeah, I love previous video. Dim. Button.
so let's see. How many people are watching?
Heading. Quarantine with stream. 10 watching now.
10 watching.
3:56 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm reteaching myself. Previous video. 3:56 p.m.
Let's
Melissa's World.
see.
I'm reteaching myself Braille to avoid eye strain.
Melissa says she is reteaching herself Braille to avoid eye strain. That is a good idea, and I need to be practicing Braille more. It's one of those like, I feel like it's one of those use it or lose it kind of things, and it is not something that I practice very often. I am bad about doing that, so I really need to get back on that to kind of keep my speed up. So it's a good reminder. Need to go dig out some Braille books. My husband got me some Braille books for Christmas that are kids books because that's my Braille reading level right now. So I have what did it give me, like 3 Little Pigs and If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So I need to read those because I haven't yet, and that was Christmas, so it has been a while. So I will pull those out. That was one of my New Year's resolution, was to practice Braille more. So we kind of made a list of New Year's resolutions, which isn't, I don't know, it was more like things that we wanted to do throughout the year, not necessarily a resolution. Like one of the things was we wanted to see a play, like a musical, and to clean out our junk room, as we call it. We have a guest room that just has a bunch of junk in it, and I said when we moved into our house that I didn't want a bunch of junk in it. I wanted to leave it empty so then we wouldn't have to worry about cleaning it out one day, and that did not happen. So that's been on our list of things to do, and we will do that sometime, probably once this semester is over. We will do that. But one of my other resolutions has been interrupted by the pandemic. I wanted to join some kind of like workout class of some sort, like go to bar class or yoga class or like an adult dance class or something. And I had started researching classes in my area and kind of what they are and how much they were. And then this happened. So, and I know you can still do that kind of stuff at home. I wanted to go somewhere and do it, to just like get out and be around people, maybe make some friends. So, haven't been able to do that. So that's also been kind of another bummer. Also, um, my husband and I were talking before this all happened about how, since grad school takes up so much of my time, we were really excited for that to kind of be over and go back to a normal life, and just was kind of imagining like, I'll get to go to work, call it work, internship. It's like work, but they don't pay me. I'll get to go to work and just come home and relax and watch TV, and I won't have to worry about having to do an assignment. Or on the weekends, we can just like go run errands or go to the movies or like go on a date or go to our family's house and like not have to worry about, I got to get home because I have homework to do, or just feeling anxious like, oh, we need to, hurry up and move this along, I have homework to do, or I don't have time to do that, and just have like a normal life. And now, this semester ends at the end of April, and there isn't really a normal life to go back to because things aren't normal right now. So I was really looking forward to that, and now that's not gonna be how it happens. So I mean, maybe things will be somewhat normal at the end of April. I don't know. So we'll see. That's what I keep saying, is we'll see. Let's see.
3:53 p.m. JC5 Productions. Catching up on your stream soon, Sam. 3:54 p.m. Rainbow Road. I'm like the Disney princess. 3:54 p.m. Melissa's World. Thanks for the 3:55 p.m. Rainbow Road. Yeah, I love 3:56 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm reteaching myself Braille to avoid 3:56 p.m. Conan Clark. Love you. Miss you.
My dad says he loves me, misses me. Love you too. Miss you too, Dad. Actually, I saw my dad like 2 weeks ago, right before this all got crazy. So it's interesting. I had lunch with my dad, and then we went over to my husband's family and saw my in-laws and our like 1.5-year-old niece, who is adorable and we are obsessed with. And we saw my sister and kind of her / kind of my friend group. We did like a game night. So I'm glad that we get to like see all those people and kind of have that social interaction before it like really got crazy. So that was good. I didn't get to see my mom though. Oh, another thing that has been sad about this quarantine is I miss my dog. So I got a dog when I was 18, and I lived in an apartment, and I had her for about 6 months, and then found out that I was not allowed to have her at my apartment, so she went to go live with my mom. And then by the time I finished college and moved into a pet-friendly apartment, it had been a few years, and her and my mom were too attached, so I didn't want to separate them. So my dog lives with my mom, but comes to visit often, and we keep her when my mom goes on vacation and stuff. So I miss my dog, but we are social distancing from her. And like, I know that animals can't like carry the virus or give you the virus, but it could get in their hair. So it's like, if my mom is hopefully not, but if she was kind of an asymptomatic carrier and coughed near the dog and it kind of got in her fur, and then I like went and kissed her on the top of her head. I don't know. I just feel like it's a good idea, if you're social distancing from people, to social distance from the household pet. I don't know. I think of it like a blanket. If you can get virus germs living on a blanket, it could live on a dog. So I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor. That's just what I think. So we are social distancing from my mom and my dog, and I miss her. So that's been hard, because like, I could call my mom and talk to her on the phone. Can't talk to my dog on the phone. I want to like hold her and pet her and snuggle with her, and she really does not respond to FaceTime. She she doesn't understand phones, so she won't even look at you. So it's rude.
3:57 p.m. Melissa's World. I got the ABCs down, but contractions I'm still learning. 3:56 p.m. Conan Clark. Love you. Miss you. 3:57 p.m. Melissa's World. I got the ABCs down, but contractions I'm still learning. 3:57 p.m. Rainbow Road. I remember if you give a mouse a cookie from my childhood. Fun times. LOL. 3:58 p.m. Grouchy Laughter. I am using VoiceOver more now for my online classes, but I strain when I can. A lot of my professors are using Zoom for lit classes, which isn't currently accessible with screen readers.
Is Zoom not accessible? That sucks. So Rachel says her professors are using Zoom and it's not accessible with VoiceOver. So I haven't tried to use Zoom, but that is very unfortunate because that's something that a lot of people are using right now. I didn't know that that wasn't accessible.
3:58 p.m. Melissa's World. My mom rebooks to my Zoe on 1. 3:58 p.m. Grouchy Laughter. Learning Braille is also on my list of things I want to do.
So Rachel wants to learn Braille. I recommend. It comes in handy.
3:59 p.m. Rainbow Road. It sucks how much this pandemic has disrupted everyone's lives. I hope it will end sooner rather than later.
I also, yes, I hope it will end sooner rather than later. I think we're all hoping for that and really itching to get back to normal.
3:59 p.m. Cassie C. Come to buy Barberry with me.
Cassie says I should come to bar class with her. Maybe I will when that
3:59
resumes.
Melissa's World. Right 1 hour after I'm doing webtoon and Braille has avoided my eye strain and I have less pain. Braille rather than straining to 4 p.m. Blind to billionaire. Hey everyone. I am so sorry I am late. It is great to be here smiling.
Hey Matt, glad to have you.
4 p.m. Melissa's World. What's up, Matt? Smiley smiling face emoji. 4 p.m. Randa Allen. Do you have a Facebook page? 4 p.m. Lisa B. Hello, keep smiling face with squinting eyes emoji. 4 p.m. Randa Allen. Do you have a Facebook page?
Randa Alleman asked if I have a Facebook page. I don't have a Facebook page for my YouTube channel. I have like a personal one, but that's like for people that I actually know in real life. I don't have a like Kayla with a C Facebook. I do have Twitter though, so if any of you want to connect with me over there, it's at _Kayla with a C. I think there's a link in my like about section on YouTube. So yeah, if you want to connect with me over there, that's the best place to do it. You can send me messages. So yeah.
Lisa B. Hello, keep smiling face with squinting eyes emoji.
Hello, Lisa.
4:01 p.m. Melissa's World. Hi. 4:01 p.m. Darren Bryan. Do you get down more depressed about your vision loss? I have legally blind for over 14 years and find it difficult at times to deal with.
Darren asked if I get down or depressed about my vision loss. I don't know if I would, well, maybe down. I do get sad about it sometimes. Not a ton because I have always been legally blind, so it's just kind of been my way of life. I think what gets to me is when I can't see something that I used to be able to see, or I like have a memory of something that I used to be able to see that I can't see now. Like a lot of times in my dreams I can like read and write, and I'm like writing, I don't know, like a letter or to-do list or writing my name, and that's something that sometimes when I think about, it's like, oh, that kind of sucks that I used to be able to do that. Like I used to be able to just write with a paper and pen, and I can't do that anymore, or just like read a sign. And or sometimes if I'll watch something on TV that I have seen before and I've been able to see it, like every Christmas I watch the Christmas episode of SpongeBob because I love SpongeBob. I have it on DVD, and I can like picture from when I watched it when I was younger about like what it looks like and kind of the more visual like comedy aspects of it, but I can't see it in real life. So then kind of just having that comparison of the memory in my head and then what it looks like right now, I think that gets to me more than anything. Just kind of having that just like kind of realizing what I've lost and having that just kind of come up into my consciousness usually is what kind of gets me down. But for the most part, I'd say I'm pretty positive about it, but I know everyone's different, especially if you've always been legally blind or visually impaired. It's probably I don't know, it's not as traumatic because it's not as big of a loss. And I don't know, I'm trying to like I don't want to say any definite answers because I don't want to get into this whole debate of is it worse to be born blind or go completely blind, or to go blind. Trying to not give an opinion on that because I think it affects everyone differently. So yeah, anyways, that's my answer.
4 p.m. Melissa's World. What's up, Matt? Smiley smiling face. 4 p.m. Do you have a Facebook page? 4 p.m. 4:01 p.m. Melissa's World. Hi. 4:01 p.m. Darren Bryan. Do you get down or depressed about? 4:01 p.m. JC5 Productions. Hey Matt. 4:02 p.m. Lisa B. Hi JC. 4:02 p.m. Melissa's World. I tend to use my cane rather than a guide dog. 4:02 p.m. Lisa B. Skype with your dog. Kayla.
Yeah. Lisa says Skype with my dog. I wish I could, but like I can't really see her, and she doesn't respond. She doesn't understand when you like FaceTime with her that there's someone on the phone. Like she doesn't even look at it. So it doesn't really work.
4:02 p.m. Blind to Millionaire. Hey Kayla. Sorry I'm late, but glad to be here smiling.
Matt says he's sorry to be late. It's okay. I totally understand. So, but glad that you're here.
4:03 p.m. Say I am 4414. Hey Kayla, how are you?
Hey, let's see.
4:03 p.m. Say I am
Say that
4414.
again. Siam, is that right? That's how voiceover says it. So I said earlier, sorry if I pronounce your names wrong. I'm pronouncing them how voiceover pronounces them. So if it's wrong, it's voiceover's fault.
4:03 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm social distancing at efforts. 6 feet apart. 4:04 p.m. Blind to Millionaire. Hey Mom, Lisa, and Melissa. 4:04 p.m. Carol Holmes. We both miss you and love you very much.
Let's see. Y'all are
4:04 p.m.
saying
Say I am
hi to each
4414.
other.
Zoom works on iPhone. 4:04 p.m. Lisa B. I'm at Corey winking face emoji.
Apparently, Zoom works on iPhone. So we were talking a minute ago about how Zoom isn't accessible. So let's see who said that.
Say I am 4414. Zoom works on iPhone.
Siam says that Zoom works on iPhone. So hopefully, that's a good tip.
4:04 p.m. Lisa B. I'm at Corey winking face emoji. 4:05 p.m. Melissa's World. Have you heard of the checkered eye basically means the same thing as a cane, only you wear it on your shirt, and I'm not fond of that. But what's your take, Kayla?
Let's see. Let me read this again.
Have you heard of the checkered eye basically means the same thing as a cane, only you wear it on your shirt, and I'm not fond of that. But what's your take, Kayla?
Melissa asked if I've heard of the checkered eye that you wear on your shirt. I think it's kind of like a, I don't know a whole lot about it. I think it's just so people know that you're visually impaired. I think a lot of like we know what that means. Well, barely. I barely know what that means, but I think a lot of sighted people don't know what that is. So I don't know that it would really accomplish what it's supposed to, because I don't think people would realize. And plus, like when I'm out by myself, I usually have my cane, so that's kind of what I use for identification. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
4:06 p.m. Nayla K. Which device are you using right now?
So Nayla K asks what device I'm using right now. So I am filming on my iPhone, and then I have my iPad in my lap that I'm using to read the comments.
4:07 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm on my laptop. 4:07 p.m. Say I'm 4414. Do you use Twitch, and would you be willing to help with the project?
Siam asks if I use Twitch. I don't. That is not something that I have ever used, so I don't really know very much about it.
4:07 p.m. Melissa's World. I love SpongeBob. Squidward is my favorite.
Melissa likes the show SpongeBob and likes Squidward. I like Squidward also. My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, does a good Squidward impression. It always makes me laugh. And he is so a Squidward. He is a grumpy Squidward.
4:08 p.m. Melanie Reed House. Hi Kayla. From New Mexico. Doing my homework from the orientation center I went to, and so you're doing it street home. Watching the channel as I work. 4:08 p.m. Reggie Laughter. I've always been legally blind as well, and I don't read very often because I don't have a real concept of what I'm missing. 4:08 p.m. Blind to Millionaire. Hi Lisa. Corey says hi. 4:08 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm legally blind too, and it's sad that I try to keep my head up. 4:09 p.m. Anna Teresia. You have got lots of positive energy. Thank God for Shari and smiles. Smiling.
So I guess Matt and Corey are here. So hello to Corey as well. I want to ask your opinion. We were talking a little while ago about our favorite Disney song. Since Corey is a Disney fan also, what is your favorite Disney song? Can let us know. Popular opinions, mine was Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, which is also Beverly's favorite as well.
4:09 p.m. Melissa's World. Kayla, are you locked down? Like, is your girl still locked down? Because I'm semi-locked down.
Melissa asked if I'm locked down. We are not locked down here. We are just strongly encouraged to stay home, but not quite locked down yet.
4:12 p.m. Melissa's World. I use my cane for navigation and D. 4:12 p.m. Cassie C. He's not that grumpy.
Cassie says he's not that grumpy. Yeah, he's not that grumpy. I think he's talking about my brother-in-law being a Squidward. I think it depends on what the context is, but he's very kind of like sarcastic, especially if it's something he doesn't care about, like when we're talking about Taylor Swift or something. I think that's when his inner Squidward comes out.
4:13 p.m. Nayla K. I'm Anna Corey. 4:13 p.m. Cassie C. He's sarcastic. Previous video. Dim.
Yes, Cassie says he's sarcastic. He is definitely that.
4:13 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm part SpongeBob, part Squidward, depending on the day. Actions available.
Melissa is part SpongeBob, part
4:13 p.m.
Squidward.
Cassie C. Be sarcastic. 4:13. Previous
Let's
video.
see. I think if I was a SpongeBob character, I would probably be SpongeBob. I think he's very easily excited, which is very me. I also really like the episode where he gets a bunch of trophies, and he gets one that's for outstanding achievements in achievement, and I I always like joke about that because I'm always a perfectionist, and I want to get like 100s on all of my assignments at school, not just A's but 100s, and so I always kind of joke that I'm trying to get the trophy for outstanding achievements in achievement. So yeah, if you're a SpongeBob person, maybe you know what I'm talking about. I make a lot of SpongeBob references that people don't get because I guess a lot of people aren't SpongeBob people, and like I don't really watch it anymore or the new episodes, but just from when it was on TV when I was young and watched it growing up. I don't know. They stuck.
4:14 p.m. Melissa's World. I love that episode. Is typically Pink Loser. I love that episode. Ellipsis. So funny.
So
14 p.m.
Melissa
Melissa's
knows
World. I'm strongly encouraged to say
which one I'm talking about.
4:13 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm part SpongeBob, part Squidward, depending on the day. 4:14 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm strongly 4:14 p.m. Melissa's World. LOL. 4:14 p.m. Seeing blind. I'm back, guys. Sorry I had to get kids settled.
So Cindy's back. Had to get her kids settled.
4:14 p.m. Blind to billionaire. Oh man, I will answer this one for Corey. I think it is when you wish upon a star. That is what she walked down the aisle to. It makes her cry every time. LOL.
So Matt says Corey's favorite Disney song is When You Wish Upon a Star, and she walked down the aisle to that song. I love that. That's so sweet. And Matt and Corey got married at Disney, which I am so jealous of. I would have loved to have gotten married at Disney, but that's really sweet that she walked down the aisle to that song. I didn't walk down the aisle to a Disney song, but we had like the pre-ceremony music, like when everyone's kind of like filtering into the ceremony, was playing instrumental music of Disney songs, and then during our cocktail hour it was more instrumentals of Disney songs, which I carefully crafted the playlists and really enjoyed doing that. So I wish I could have attended my own wedding. Like, I don't know if any of you guys also feel that way, but I wish I could have attended my own wedding because I feel like I would have loved it because it was so like magical and princessy, and you know, when it's your own wedding, you're doing a lot of stuff like taking pictures and running around and doing stuff. Like, you don't just get to be at it, obviously. So I wish I could have attended my own wedding.
4:15 p.m. Seeing blind. I'm Matt and Corey. 4:15 p.m. Blind to billionaire. Oh man. 4:15 p.m. Blind to billionaire. I'm Neil K. 4:15 p.m. Say I'm 4,414. That's fine. Would you want to help with the project and it's pronounced Sagan as one word, and feel free to MSG me on Twitter about it.
So
4:15 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm single and still live with my parents as they don't want me being on my own and I want independence. Any tips? 4:16 p.m. Blind to billionaire. Hi Cindy. Seeing blind. 4:15
let's
p.m.
see. Melissa said she, well, let me,
4:15 p.m.
let's read that again.
4:15 p.m. Melissa's World. I'm single and still live with my parents as they don't want me being on my own and I want independence. Any tips?
Melissa is single and still lives with her parents but wants to be on her own. I don't know. I don't know if I really have any tips other than to just like go out and do it, or prepare, like do your research on it of how you would do that, kind of like where you would live, how you would pay the bills, how you would do everything. Just kind of do the research and then present it to your parents. Like, this is what I want to do, and this is how I would manage. So I don't know. I may not be I don't always have great advice for questions that you guys ask me. I try my best, but yeah, I don't know. I don't always have a great answer, but
4:16
I try.
Hi Cindy. Seeing blind smiling. 4:17 p.m. Seeing blind. Loved your all's stream with Sam yesterday. Previous video.
So it is
4:17 p.m. Seeing blind. Loved your all's
let's
stream.
see.
Previous video.
It's like,
Button.
well,
4:17 p.m. Blindly going. All my mad travels have stopped. 71 countries and now the quarantine pause. 4:17 p.m. Blind to billionaire. Yes, in the Grand Floridian wedding pavilion. You can see it from the non-rail smiling. Previous video. Dim. Button.
it is like 4:17, so I've been on here for an hour and 17 minutes. So I think I might get off of here because it's been a while. I still have to get back to my schoolwork. Also, this room that I film in gets like really warm in here with the door closed. I think it's because it has like this big window where the sun comes in, so like it's very toasty. I need some fresh air, and so I hate to sign off though because I know some of you guys just got here, but I have been here for a while, so I think I am going to say goodbye. But let me check the chat one more time before I leave.
All my travels have stopped. 4:17 p.m. Blind to billionaire. Yes. In the Grand Floridian Wedding Pavilion. 4:17 p.m. Melissa's World. Oh, okay. Ellipsis. Also, I have asthma and my parents are inaccessible. I can't read the tiny font print on there. 4:18 p.m. Blind to billionaire. Thanks, Cindy. It was a fun live stream. 4:18 p.m. Rachi Latcher. Bye. 4:18 p.m. Blindly going. Bye for now. Previous video.
All right, so everyone's saying bye. I'm going to warn you that this may be clunky for me to try and turn this live stream off because I'm gonna have to take my phone off the tripod and then turn on voiceover to turn it off, which will be very loud when you turn the voiceover on your phone while it's filming. So just warning, either get off now, run while you can, or turn your volume down before I take this off because it's going to be loud. So sorry about that. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for joining me for my live stream. Let me know if you would like to see another live stream from me sometime, since this was my first time. I hope it was okay, and I will see you guys later. Okay, now for the loud, awkward part.
Landscape. YouTube. Orient. Finish. Button. Lip. Finish. Button. Alert. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Cancel.